You must be very much like the Pharisees of the New Testament. The very word Pharisee means that you are serious about your religion. That's what the Pharisees were more than anything else. They were very serious people. They kept the rules. All 613 commandments of the Old Testament, they followed them. And for them, they were so serious that they even added a few more rules for themselves to follow, and they told other people to follow them too. They made sure that everyone around them felt bad if they weren't following all of the rules. I do this, I do that, I give, I sing, I worship, I look the part. I thank you that that's how I am. Is that what we're going for this morning? Is that why we volunteered to come to church this morning? See, the Pharisees, they were very good at appearances, but Jesus knew better. He called them whitewashed graves, all nice and pretty on the outside, but dead on the inside. The Pharisees were all about following the rules. They were all about appearances. Any message of an inner relationship with God was completely lost on them. They had no interest in that at all. We need to do better. In fact, Jesus says this much in the Sermon on the Mount. He says, unless your righteousness exceeds someone like that, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the Pharisees, you have no part of the kingdom of God. You start with the Pharisee and you go beyond that. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to be. But how are we going to do that? How are we going to change our lives to exceed what those serious Pharisees were doing? We need to be careful, don't we? We don't want to mess up our lives too much, right? We don't want to make too many sacrifices here. We don't want to change our patterns. We don't want to change our sacred habits too much. We want to keep certain things in place. Oh, we want to do better, but we're already volunteering quite a bit here. We want to make sure that, I think we'd much rather hear God come along and say that we're already doing just fine as we are. Still, Jesus calls us to more. Jesus calls us to better. Jesus calls us to further, a place further than the Pharisees would ever even consider going. How are we going to do that?